Let me do this. Good. Hey, congratulations. I'm glad that you made it. My name's Chuck Hanson. I'm going to be your host for the next 30 minutes or so. So sit back, relax, grab something to take some notes with. If somebody sent you over to watch the live presentation, by all means, thank them. If you're watching this on YouTube later, again, thank that person who, moved you in that direction. I say there are no coincidences in life. Everything was destined to happen, and you were destined to take a look at this information for one reason or another. So, if you are brand new to network marketing and this is maybe your first exposure, congratulations. My first exposure was 31 years ago. I'll tell you more about that later. If you've been in network marketing before and you've failed, it probably wasn't your fault. It probably was just bad timing and a lot of other situations that come up with, brand new companies. And if you're a pro looking for, a home, looking to build that one final hurrah, right? And you want to make something your last rodeo, then I would suggest you pay very, very close attention to what I've got to say for the next 30 minutes. Making money in this industry is very, very simple if you can catch a company at the right time. If all the stars and the planets are lined up and, you catch that company at the right time of its growth cycle, and every company goes through these growth cycles. You guys have all seen bell curves and all those things before. Valentis has grown, and that's the company we're talking about here this evening. Valentis has grown over 2,000% in the past 12 months, and it's positioned for extraordinary growth over the next 3 to 5 years. And that's what's important to you, especially if you're looking at Valentis for the very first time or maybe the second time. What my duty and responsibility is to give you enough information so that you can make an intelligent decision. And hopefully I'll do a good enough job at that this evening so that you can make a decision. I'm going to show you how you can make a 5, 6, 7-figure annual residual income. And residual is the key phrase and key word there. So I want to get right on with things. Let me give you something to think about before we get started. I got to ask you a question. Are you sick and tired? Now you can fill in the blanks. Are you sick and tired of your life-sucking job? Are you sick and tired of where you live? Are you sick and tired of the car that you drive? Are you sick and tired of whatever? I met a guy on an airplane the other day. He had his wedding ring on his right hand. And I says, hey, your ring's on the wrong finger. He said, yeah, I married the wrong woman. Now, that's another story. But anyway, hey, everything in this presentation is possible, right? The incomes are real. The people are real. Everyone here is working for you to help you get to where you want to go to achieve your goals. So, if you've ever wanted to win and you wanted to win big, then pay attention. Now is the time. And Valentis is the company that you're going to hear a lot about moving forward. So, this is what I discovered 31 years ago. Somebody said, hey, I want to show you a way to how to make money even while you're sleeping so you don't have to work until you die. And I said, hey, that's a real good idea. I'd love to learn how to, earn money while I'm sleeping. So that was the start of my career. Here's the other point that I really wanted to drive home, and it really is all about you, because unless you decide that you want things to change in your life, nothing's going to change. Other people, I can make the suggestion, you can be, other people can suggest that, you ought to do things, but until you decide that you want things to change, then nothing's going to happen. But once you decide you do want things to change, then nothing or no one will keep you from reaching your goal. I mean, it's just, that's what it's going to be, right? That's where you're headed. The rest of it, the ABCs, the mechanics, the how to do is very, very simple. And it is all very, very possible. So, little bit about myself. I've been in the network marketing industry for 31 years, owned a business, an advertising agency for 16 years prior to getting kidnapped and drug off to a meeting by a good friend of mine, one of my clients, actually. And he threw me in his Jaguar and he says, hey, we're going to go, we're going to have barbecue and we're going to go out and catch some music and so on. And I said, yeah, let's go do that. Well, I never got to do any of that stuff. He took me to a network marketing meeting. And what I discovered in that meeting were a lot of people that didn't look particularly smart, that were making more money monthly than I was making annually after 16 years. So being the very astute business person that I am, I started paying very close attention, right? Taking very copious notes on, how in the world was this possible? How in the world were these people making that kind of money? And, after struggling for 16 years, I was still struggling. So I made that decision that evening to get into network marketing, much to the surprise of my wife, who I told later. But since then, it's been great. $15 million I've earned, going to earn that much or more with Valentis over the course of the next 5 years. Built huge teams all around the globe, traveled over 6 million miles, but I was retired, kind of semi-retired, kind of consulting for a couple of companies. I found myself January and February, March of 2018, the fattest I had ever been in my life because I was flying too much, I was eating too much, and all my meetings were breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So there was just nothing I could do about it. I got a call. I was really searching for a way to lose some weight, and I got a call from Dave Jordan. Dave and I have been friends for about 8 years, and he said, Chuck, we've got the most miraculous weight loss product. It's in a coffee. And I said, well, that's an interesting combination. I said, Dave, it probably won't work for me, but you know what? I'll go ahead and try, buy some and try it myself, and I'll let you know. And I'm going to get more to that story. I want you to meet John Herenza. John is just finishing a European tour. I just caught him with a live Facebook broadcast here today. He was in the Canary Islands in Spain, and great guy, been in the industry for 30 years. I asked him to come on and film a couple of things with me, and I want to show you a little clip of that. It's outdated by about 2 months, but I'll fill you in on that. I think it's not that, it's the message that is really relevant. And I asked John to talk about timing. I asked John to talk about money. And I'm sure none of you will object to that. So let me introduce you to John, and I'll be right back to you.
Thank you so much for that kind introduction. And, with your history and success you've had in the industry, Chuck, let me just say it's just an honor to be working with you. You're a legend in this industry and just, have done amazing things, and just so excited to have you here, with us here at Valentis. Folks, I'll give you a little history on myself. I've been now 30 years now in this industry. I grew up in a small town in Minnesota, actually still have a lake home there, very near where I grew up. I had no sales background. I was a blue-collar worker. I was a welder, building, maintaining equipment. I have a learning disability, I had dyslexia. And so I came to the industry, with no self-esteem, no self-confidence, very shy and introverted. My first experience was NSA water filters, and just an amazing experience. It was 4 years there. Learned the fundamentals, fell in love with network marketing, learned how important timing was, how important a consumable product was. And so I've now been 30 years in the industry. I've been with 4 companies. Every single experience has been phenomenal. NSA, 4 years, earned about $400,000, was with Rexall after that for 12 years, earned $4 million. From there, master distributor of Wayora. Over that 12-year window, was able to earn about $10 million, and then another couple million with its sister company, Javita. And now I'm with Valentis, right? And what's led me to Valentis, number one, is because here's what I believe. Is all of these companies, right, and/or opportunities are made up of 5 critical elements, right? The company, the product, the compensation plan, the timing, and the training and support. And if 2 or 3 of those elements are not in place, it really doesn't matter how good we are, or how hard we work. I mean, despite our best efforts, we're going to struggle, right? I mean, you could take me now having earned $22 million in the industry, put me with a company where those elements aren't in place, and I'm going to struggle. I mean, I look at myself here today. I'm not a different person. I'm not doing anything different than I've ever done, but, averaging, almost a half or $400,000 a month, on the verge of making $500,000 a month. So I'm not doing anything different. The difference is the vehicle, right? And let me, we all know, and I'm assuming most of these people watching this are people that have been in the industry, you've had success, hear these stories about timing, and timing really is everything, right? And timing is actually very predictable. I mean, timing is a factor of numbers. There's very distinctive tipping points to where, that trigger, momentum and trigger that critical mass window where the company actually, just explodes. And here's what's, we've went in we've had our challenges. We're 5 years old. We had a really good start, or actually a slow start. Then in the middle, 2016, we had a great year. We had some challenges. In May of last year, May of 2018, we were under $1 million in sales. We just closed out July over $8 million in sales. Okay, we've grown $1 million in each of the last in the last 4 months, and we're on track here in August to grow another $1 million. But here's why I'm telling you the story from a strict number standpoint, right? We've reached that point. This point of geometric growth is starting to work for us because 7 million of the 8 million in sales is all brand new volume. Everybody's new and fresh and excited. So our attrition is literally non-existent. And so it's kind of like if you look at that penny a day, double every day concept, and you hit that certain tipping point where the compounding effect of numbers just kind of just take a course of its own, just explode. And if you look at, I got a little chart here. And if you look at the compounding effect of numbers, right, a penny a day doubled every day, and it's about day 20. It's about day 20 that the numbers really become significant, right? And that's from a just kind of a comparison standpoint. I think that's where we are. We're at about day 20 because we have so many brand new, excited people making money and exploding that we're ready to absolutely explode. Okay, so we went from $1 million a month to $8 million a month in the last year. We went from $2 million a month to $8 million a month since the first of the year. And I believe by the end of this year, we're going to grow $1 million in August. I believe with our conference in Orlando, we're going to grow $2 million in September. And I believe we're going to be doing $12 million a month by the end of this year. So this, and it's not just here in the United States. Chuck, you were just telling me about a meeting in Nigeria where you had people stand, 400 people in Nigeria, and we're not even official there yet, right? I mean, I was in Spain, in May, we're doing like $1.5 million a month in Spain. The thing is absolutely ready to explode. And again, I could just keep going. I'm excited, folks. This is the absolute dream time to join a company because we are ready to absolutely explode. So
and I'll second that. We're absolutely the best time in the world to join a company. And again, as I said earlier, it's really easy to make money in a company, in a network marketing company, if you catch it at the right time. And this is exactly the right time. And so if you're sitting on the fence, you're thinking about joining Valentis, don't hesitate. Get back to the person that invited you here and tell them you want to get started. So let me kind of bring you up to speed. We are now in November, just finished October, don't have the October numbers. I was told it's close to $15 million, right? Because the month before was right at $13 million. And we're just growing and growing and growing. And so great time. So John was a little off with, it's at 12 million by the end of the year. It's probably going to be more like 18 million. Could be 20 million. It could just be absolutely crazy volume. So I told you that I got a call from Dave Jordan. That's Smiling Dave right there. Great guy. Huge sense of, he was destined to become a CEO of a network marketing company because he's got that personality, right? He's one of 14 children. He's no stranger to work, and there is a lot of work. I met Dave Dave got recruited into a network marketing company just like John, just like I did. And he got into 4 startups. All 4 startups went out of business. I joined him and was part of the company the last company he joined. And I'll never forget sitting in the CEO's office and the CEO telling us that he's going to close the doors. And Dave and I looked at one another and I said, I can't believe it. And he said, me neither. He said, this is the 4th company. And he said, these guys just don't know how to run a company. I think I'm going to go back to North Dakota and start a company. I looked over at him, put a little smirk on my face and smiled. And I said, Dave, I think that's a great idea. And lo and behold, look what he did. You know, he said, I'm going to go. And so that's just the kind of guy he is, right? After I lost 9 pounds, I didn't tell you that part. I lost 9 pounds the first week drinking this crazy magic coffee. You know, I started paying attention. Now, the first month I lost 18 pounds. Now I got excited. I called Dave up and I said, hey man, I just bought an airplane ticket to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I'm going to come up and spend a couple of days with you. And he said, come on. So I jumped on an airplane and flew up there. And, you know, guys, the reason I did that is because I wanted to do my own forensic investigation and collect all the data myself. And so Dave said, come on up. You know, I found a company that was just then 4 years old, now 5 years old, debt-free, millions of dollars in the bank. At that time, about 85 million in global sales, now over 125 million in global sales. A company that had been paying on time using their software and their compensation plan on time every Friday for the past 4 years, which was, you know, very critical in any decision, right? And an inventory in the warehouse without any debt on it, and a building that Dave owns, paid cash for, this building right here. And so, you know, after I, again, lost 18 pounds, got my questions answered, and I said, you know what, I think I'm going to retract what I told you about not wanting to build another team, and I'm going to join you in this venture, in this journey. And he said, great, you know, let's get going. So that was the start of it. That was June 2018. And, you know, now I'm down 40 pounds, right? I've gone from 215 to 175, 178, bouncing right in there. And, you know, but my waist has gone from a 40 to a 33. I mean, you know, all the love handles and all the stuff is gone, right? So melted out. You know, best opportunity I've seen in my 30 years, and that's not just smoke, that is honest to goodness, you know, the truth that the best opportunity I've seen in my 30 years. And why? Because of the products. I mean, the products work. The products are amazing. The whole line of products. We got over 22 products. So, you know, I want you to go to ValentisProducts.com and go and take a look at everything. They're just absolutely amazing. I mean, I use a half a dozen of them myself all the time. New one, Emulin, which is not on here. Great product. The More Detox, I use that all the time, called Black Water. And of course, the Slim Roast Optimum, because it gets almost instant results on almost everybody, and people get crazy results. I want you to go to our Facebook page, over 65,000 people at last time I looked. Go to fbtestimonials.info, FB for Facebook, testimonials plural, .info, and go and read the testimonials for yourself. You'll sell yourself on this products, and it's just absolutely amazing. Now you see a cocoa product up here, works just like the coffee, except that it's hot chocolate or cold chocolate, right? And again, just an amazing product. Talk about no appetite, right? Plenty of energy. You know, doesn't increase your heart rate. I mean, it's just an absolutely phenomenal product. So go take a look at it. Here's what John was talking about is, we're going to start 2020, right? Can't believe it. It's, 2020 at probably 15 million, thereabouts, 18, 19, could be 20 million. I got to revise this whole chart. But what I want you to see is where we're going. 2020 will be a breakout year for Valentis. I think that in that 12 months, we'll do somewhere between $400 and $450 million in sales. Half of that money back to the field in commissions. So you know that there's going to be a lot of people making an awful lot of money. So again, timing, right? Catching a company at the right time, at the right place. So, here's what's happened to me. My first week's check, right? We get paid every Friday. A year later, a little over $11,000. And, the difference is the team, right? I have more leverage, and I'm working on a new presentation about leverage and residual income. I earned right at $225,000 for my first year. Already, I've earned $400,000 for, since I've started with Valentis, about another $175,000 since, the first 4 months of my second year. So I'm going to go way past that 223,000 number and probably be in the 600,000 to 800,000 range. I wanted you guys to see this. This is a chart that's put out by the company, and it gives qualifications and it gives average monthly income at each one of these ranks, right? Each one of these particular levels. At the diamond rank, relatively simple to get there. Not a lot of work, but still work. And if you're have no interest in working, this is probably not a good deal for you, because this is not one of those, betting on the come. I mean, this is something you're going to have to put in some effort, and it will all work. $3,000 to $6,000 a month. Think about your life. What would your life be with an extra $3,000 to $6,000? Coming in? Probably change your zip code, right? Change the car that you're driving. Put your kids in a private school. Have more free time to do what you want. Maybe go on that well-deserved vacation and all those vacation days that you've got banked up that you haven't used. Then you move on to double diamond, right? 7,500 to 12. Triple diamond, 15,000 to 30,000 a month. Think about that. What if it took you a year? What if it took you 2 years? What if it took you 3 years to get to 30,000 a month? Who's willing to do that? I mean, 30,000 a month, that's huge income, right? Then you move on to blue diamond, $33,000 to $75,000 a month. And folks, there's people making that money. And that's the problem. I didn't understand network marketing when I first went to that very first meeting, and I saw those people making more money monthly than I was making annually. I didn't think there was big money in this business. I thought it was for people that couldn't go out and find a real job or start a real business. And then I got exposed to this industry, and I fell in love with it. I became a student, and here's and this is a short list because we don't have enough room to put everybody on there, but you can see the kind of incomes. John said he was on the cusp of making 500,000. That cusp has happened, right? He's there and past that. So it's just a matter of time. And the only difference between these people and you is what they know and the length of time that they've been in Valentis. So, if you want to do it, you can do it. If they can do it, you can do it. I mean, it's just as simple as that. So, that's some great news for you. 79 million people are going to start a home-based business within the next 5 years, according to Forbes magazine. So that's the trend, right? That's the way things are trending. So, you can get in front of that whole thing. Here's a question that I ask everybody. I just want to show of hands, right? If there was a pretty good chance that a $600 investment plus some part-time effort over a period of time, say the next 3 to 5 years, could produce a 6 or perhaps even a 7-figure annual income, is that something you'd be interested in doing? Just your hands. Yep. Yep. You know, I ask that question all the time and everybody says yes, you know, because here it is. All the training, this is like a franchise without the franchise fee, without you having to pay 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 in franchise fees, because everything is already here. It's all done, right? We're shipping products globally. You can refer people anywhere on the globe. So wherever your contacts happen to be, you can bring them into your Valentis business. You've got no boss. You've got income, unlimited income potential, no employees. You know, I had 125. I'm certainly glad I found network marketing. Tax benefits. Most of all, you get to work with friends. You get to work with friends, you have fun, and you travel. If you like to travel. If you don't like to travel, you can do a Zoom. So here's how to get started. $20 activation fee, one-time fee to become an independent representative with Valentis. There is a lesser package, $239, and a more expensive package, $1195. But you know, I like to stay right here in the middle, right? So that middle is $600 and $160 a month. Be simple. I mean, to have unlimited income. And what this gives you is not only gives you the samples, you get 350 samples. I like that package, but it also maximizes the payout of the compensation plan. So you definitely want to pay attention to that. I say if that's a challenge for you, borrow the money. You know, borrow the money. Borrow it from a friend, a family, whoever. But you've got to start at the Business Builder Pack because you're going to discover that if you start at a lower pack, you're going to leave money on the table and you're going to have to come and buy the Business Builder Pack anyway. So might as well just do it on the front end. My good friend Marshall Silver was the first diamond in my organization. Marshall saw me posting some pictures of the fat melting off of me, and he said, "Chuck, how in the world are you doing that?" I said, "I'm drinking this magic coffee, buddy." And he said, "You've got my address, send me some." And you know, well, the rest of it's history. Marshall's now lost over 40 pounds, and you know, he'll probably drink this stuff and promote it until, you know, we're both old and gray. Well, he won't be gray, but he said, "Hey, you know, what I'm going to do is everybody that buys a Business Builder Pack, I'm going to give them 2 tickets to my Turning Point seminar." Now, we just had one in San Francisco this past weekend, and on Wednesday, I'll make sure that I have some of the people that were there, you know, come on and tell you all about it. But fantastic. Marshall is a world-renowned hypnotist and, you know, just a phenomenal trainer. And so the next one is coming up in San Diego, close to San Diego, right at the Hilton, the 14th through the 16th. So by all means, if you're down in that direction, if you've already bought a Business Builder Pack, you want to go, get a hold of me. If you're down there and you want to fly in and you want to go buy a Business Builder Pack, we'll get you 2 tickets. You can go to Marshall's Turning Point seminar. So where do you see yourself? You know, kind of the I'm ready to get started phase. I hope so. You know, because again, this journey of 1,000,000 miles starts with the first step, right? I mean, you got to get started to finally do something. You got to make that decision. So if you're ready to get started, get back to the person that invited you to take a look at this information and tell them that, hey, you want to get a Business Builder Pack and you want to get started. And we've got a specific way to help you get started. If you got some questions, make sure that you get back with the person that invited you here and have them, you know, put you in touch with me. Have you put you in touch with whoever is their diamond upline, and you know, get your questions answered. If we've got to take you, you know, to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, if you've got to fly up there, you know, I guess you can. But it's snowing and it's real cold. So I'm glad I went in June. So if you think that it's not for you, it's not. You know, let me just cut right to the chase. You because, sometimes not everything is made for, for everybody, right? So if you think you want to just become a customer, I would think again, because people are going to ask you how you're losing all that weight. And for $20, you can have all the websites and landing pages and everything else. So you can just send them to your website. They can order a product, you can get paid, because that's how we earn money. So we have fun, we make money. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you with this. If you haven't seen this little video by Les Brown, it really is phenomenal, and it really does deliver an amazing message. So pay attention to that. I'll be right back with you.
In the Far East, they have something that's called the Chinese bamboo tree. The Chinese bamboo tree takes 5 years to grow. They have to water and fertilize the ground where it is every day. And it doesn't break through the ground until the 5th year. But once it breaks through the ground, within 5 weeks, it grows 90 feet tall. Now the question is, does it grow 90 feet tall in 5 weeks or 5 years? The answer is obvious. It grows 90 feet tall in 5 years. Because at any time had that person stopped watering and nurturing and fertilizing that dream, that bamboo tree would have died in the ground. And I can see people coming out talking to a guy out there watering and fertilizing the ground that's not showing anything. Hey, what you doing? You've been out here a long time, man. And the conversation in the neighborhood is, you growing a Chinese bamboo tree, is that right? Yeah, that's right. Well, even Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder can see ain't nothing showing. So how long you been working on this? How long have you been working on your dreams? And you have nothing to show. This is all you got to show. People gonna do that to you. And some people, ladies and gentlemen, they stop. Because they don't see instant results. It doesn't happen quickly. They stop. Oh, no. You got to keep on watering your dream. That is not going to happen as quickly as you want it to happen. A lot of things are going to happen that will catch you off guard. And so therefore you've got to deal with and handle it as it comes. And not only that, but that faith and patience drives you into action. You've got to keep moving and keep plugging away. See, during those hard times, we didn't know how you're going to make payroll during those times when you failed and things didn't work out. They were nowhere to be found. But you know what I discovered? When you're working at your dream, somebody said the harder the battle, the sweeter the...
Sorry, guys.
The victory. Oh, it's sweet to you. It's good to you. Why? See, when it's hard and there's a struggle, see, what you become in the process is more important than the dream. That's far more important. The kind of person you become, the character that you build, the courage that you develop, the faith that you're manifesting. Oh, it's something that you get up in the morning, you look yourself in the mirror, you're a different kind of person. You walk with a different kind of spirit. And people know that you know what life is, that you have embraced life. You know it was hard, but you did it hard.
Amen. Okay, hey, you've just been presented an opportunity that could change your life. Now what, right? Are you going to just watch it happen, or are you going to jump in and make something happen? You're one decision away from success. Success and failure are just separated by one decision. I could tell you a million stories of my life and the decisions that I've made and the decisions that I wish that I would have made. But let's talk about where you want to go. I mean, if Follett just looks like it's something that you want to do, by all means, get back with the person that invited you here and let's go do it. If it's not, then at least tell that person, thank you, but I'm not interested, right? You can do this if you want to, and it is possible. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't. Is it going to be easy? No. Let me just tell you on the front end, it's not going to be easy. Will it be simple? Absolutely. Look, I can do it. right? If it wasn't simple, I couldn't do it. Will it be worth it? Positively. And, anytime you want to sit and go through my history and, see what I've done, then you'll know that it was definitely worth it. Look, I got to work from home for 30 years. I got to live a lifestyle that only people dream about living. Live wherever we wanted to, drive the car as we've wanted to, and it just goes on and on and on. So, if those things are important to you, and then I would say, let's get started. Don't let your fear hold you back from doing anything. So with that, God bless everybody. I thank all the veterans for their service, and hope everybody enjoyed a day off. And it's always a day off for all of us. So with that, I'm going to stop this video, stop the recording, stop the share, and again, thanks for spending some time with me.
Thanks, Chuck.
Thanks, buddy.